Hello, and welcome to Dickinson's Real Deal. On this show, I help members of the public get the best price for their antiques and valuables. They get a choice. Sit down with one of our regular dealers. They're going to try and tempt you with a cash offer on the table today.
I think we'll start with the large ones here, look. 50 quid, have we done a deal?
Oh, no.
Have we?
No.
If you're not happy with that, there's an alternative. You can gamble and place the same goods into an auction, hoping to get a little bit more money there.
We're up to 190, 200, 210,
Amazing.
240, 250.
And I'm going to be on hand all the time to help and advise you. Today, the show comes to you from this wonderful town hall in the centre of Stockport in Cheshire. Just look at the crowd. They've been here since early this morning. They have brought along their treasures. There's a real buzz in the air. They want to do business. They want to sell or go to auction, but either way, they want the real deal.
The den's all of a bustle, so let's get cracking. Carol's ready to put a price on her painting over on David Hateley's table.
Hoping to get £80 to £100. I've seen David before on the programme, so I think he's going to be fair.
Well, Carol, to make sure he is, the Duke and auctioneer Max Blackmore are watching from the wings.
Well, you bought a painting here.
I have, yeah.
Well, we think it's a painting. Well, sure it is, anyway.
Belonged to me grandfather.
He didn't paint it, did he?
No.
Well, I see it's got a very famous name here, artist name, Turner, but I don't think it's the Turner we all know.
No.
And it's dated 1919. And it says above it, sadly, copy. And that's exactly what I thought when I first had a look at this painting. It's painted on canvas, yes. And it looks as though an amateur artist has done this and copied it off a much more famous picture, I would have thought.
I really don't know any history about it.
It's very pleasant, and she's a good-looking girl, isn't she? Like yourself.
Got lovely lips.
Carol.
Flattery will get you everywhere.
So if I got enough money out, you may sell me this painting.
Well, yes.
Or you might not.
We'll see.
What, you'd be sorry to see it go?
No, not really.
And what happened to the frame?
It's never been in a frame.
You've never had a
It
frame?
was wrapped in brown paper on top of the wardrobe.
Now, when this came through the door, Max, we all gathered around and had a look at it, and there was just one thing on our mind, and that was it an original oil painting, or was it an oleograph? And an oleograph is a process whereby you put a print down onto a canvas, and then you apply varnish over it, very heavily laid on, that it looks like brushstrokes of oil paint. What was your opinion?
The key point is the eyes, I always find, because they don't generally paint over the eyes. The eyes are the difficult part of the picture, so they tend to be, if you like, the photograph or the print coming through.
Right.
So I had a good look at the eyes with a glass, and I'm pretty confident they are all done by oil, and it is an oil painting. I'm not familiar with the artist C.J. Turner, which is what's on the picture, but plenty of artists just copied other people's work. I mean, it's things that students do and so on and so forth. But it's a pretty enough picture as it is.
OK. Where are you, Max, on this?
We said £60 to £100 at auction.
OK, and I think we've got 50 to 80 from the independents, so they're all slightly just under the 100 or up to the 100. David buys pictures. Let's see what he puts on the table.
So I'll get some money out and see if I can tempt you. 10. Ooh. 20. £30 any good to you?
No.
It's a definite no.
Oh, definite no.
£40. £50.
Ooh.
Don't forget we've got to buy a frame for this, you know.
Do with a few blue ones on there.
Could you? Don't think I'm going to get the blue ones out on this one. I'm going to say £60.
60 quid on the table. What do you think, Max?
It's low end, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's low end.
You've heard what Max says. Low end of the estimation. I feel the same. It's worth a little bit more. I need to get in there and tell our seller, come on, Dandy Dave, put a bit more money down, mate.
I'm not exciting you here, am I?
No, not really.
Here's some advice coming.
Well, have you got a figure in mind, Carol?
Well, I thought she was
Bit more.
Yes, a little bit more.
Well, the independent valuers, they vary. Both estimations go between 50 and 100. One's 50, 60, one's 60, 100. Now, it probably is a copy of a well-known portrait, but it's quite an attractive and well-executed picture. See if you can persuade Dandy Dave here to give you a little bit more money. I noticed he was chatting you up before you sat down. Perhaps he was trying to find out all about the picture.
Well, Carol.
Well, David, a little bit more?
Well, I'm going to say, Carol, it sounds a bit mean, this, but I'm going to say another tenner, and that's me finished.
Right. OK, we'll have a deal then.
Are you sure? You can go to auction if you like.
No, we'll have a deal.
Good bid I've made you. Thank you, Carol.
Thank you. I think I got a really fair deal there, and it's going to split between me brother and my sister.
Well, won't they be chuffed? Next up, Bryn has brought in his fairground ceramics for Carindale Mimi.
What have we got here?
We have a very, very large collection of Victorian fairings, which have been in the family for quite a while, and most recently been stored in my loft. I just feel that at some point they're going to get damaged, and I just think now it's time to move them on while they're in good condition. And
So who is the big collector?
well, my uncle's got the other half. It's just been in the family.
And do you like them?
I think they're...
I know you're selling them and you've got to be diplomatic.
They're a desirable piece, but at the end of the day, they're not for
They're quite fussy,
they're not
aren't
my
they?
cup of tea. But
Yeah.
I do know that there's a value to them.
Yeah. Right, let's cut to the chase. They're fairings. Mass-produced in Germany for the English market. Quite often given out at fairs as little prizes and things like that. But because they were so mass-produced and because there were so many of them, different varieties, they started to become collectors. People wanted to get the one they didn't have.
Right.
And do you notice anything about this one?
No.
See that there?
Right.
That's a candle.
Right.
And have a look at the other one.
Right. Okay. Yes.
Where's the candle?
Yeah. They've obviously been knocked off in probably even when they were wrapped up.
They always were.
Right.
When they made them,
Oh, even.
it was
right.
superstitious. They knocked the candle off.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I'm not going to be mean and try and knock the price down because they're damaged, because that would be a bit dishonest, because
was
they
done on
always
purpose.
are.
Right.
Every single one of these I've ever seen. They're not huge value today. They used to be much more, I'm sure you know. I don't think there's anything really rare. There's some quite nice ones, there's some quite mediocre ones, and we've got quite a few. We've got about, is it 22?
I think there's 22.
Yeah. Well, my maths hasn't failed me today. So, I got my pink ones out ready. They're £50 notes, and there's £200 down there, Brim.
What, for the whole lot?
Cheeky. That's cheeky.
They must be worth a lot more than that.
They probably are worth more money, but from my point of view, they're what they call a really slow burner. You know, I'm going to sell one or two straight away. They're going to be the ones that everyone wants. The more common ones are literally going to take only up to a year. I'll put another 20 quid on the pot. £220. Bryn, what are you going to do?
I feel it needs another blue one on top of that one.
What are we up to? 220, so 240. It's like, do I want all the hard work? I will make money, on no bones about it, and probably over £100, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
But it's going to take me a long time to do it. Right, I'm happy to put another tenner down, so that's 230 quid. It's entirely up to you, Bryn. You don't have to take my money. You can chance your luck at auction.
No, I think I'll take it.
You want to get rid of him,
It's
don't you?
Yeah, too fragile. Too fragile to handle.
I think he got a fair price. The trouble is there's mass-produced reproductions out there in the market at the moment. It's killed the price of these, but fingers crossed.
Thank you for coming in today, Sheena. I'm Simon. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I brought in a Dunhill pistol lighter, and I won't settle for anything less than £60.
Not everybody's cup of tea, but I would think probably worth £30, £40 in today's market.
Well, that's 20 quid less than what Sheena wants. How's this going to pan out?
Stick 'em up. No. What have you bought in today?
It's a Dunhill pistol cigarette lighter. As far as I can remember, my mother brought it from her father, probably in the late 50s, early 60s. It was from an old tobacconist shop, as they used to have in those days. I think it was probably an anniversary present. Sadly, my mother passed away 5 years ago, so it's just been in a box with other bits and pieces.
Collecting dust?
Yes, yeah. And I just thought, well, I need to possibly get a new boiler for the house, so, you know, I thought I'd bring it in.
New boilers cost a fortune.
Exactly. So...
when your mother bought it, was it new at the time?
I honestly couldn't tell you that. I know it was one of these very old-fashioned tobacconist shops. It may have even been second-hand then, but I couldn't honestly tell you for certain.
Well, let's assume that it was probably new at the time, because it still gives it a bit of age. I suppose the most interesting thing about this is the name. So if we turn this over, we can see quite clearly what you were talking about. It's marked here, Dunhill, and it's a name that conjures up quality, and it's always associated with quality. I think it's an interesting thing. It's, of course, a lighter, so if we do that, you put some petrol in it, you'd have a little...
It has worked and it has sparked.
Nowadays, everything to do with smoking, of course, is totally politically incorrect.
Yeah.
It's not, you know, but people do still collect it, though. Even though they might not use them as lighters, you get people that collect them anyway. So I still think it's quite nice. It's a bit of fun. So it's all down to pounds, isn't it, Sheena?
And the right colour of them as well.
The right colour. Oh, God. I just keep thinking about what you said about a boiler. I know how much new boilers are. I think a fair offer would be 60 quid. I've gone in quite strong because, and it's all because of the name on it. If it didn't have that name on it, I think it would be worth a fraction of that.
I think you could probably put down a bit more.
Well, I could have started off at 50 and gone up to 60. Instead, I've made a bit of a boo-boo, really, and I've got 60. Now I'm going to have to go up to 70, aren't I?
That's, you know...
£70.
The right way.
But that's it.
Couldn't put another 5 down there, could you?
Honestly think that's a fair price for it. I really do. And bearing in mind I've got to sell it and get a profit on it, I don't think it's worth £100. Do you know what I mean? So probably worth about £80, £90 on a good day. That doesn't leave me an awful lot of room.
I mean, I have seen it on the internet at a higher price.
Have you?
But I appreciate that you've got to get something.
Also, you can never be sure of that what you see on the internet is actually someone's actually going to pay that for it, or they have paid for it.
So you wouldn't put another 5 down?
I'd really like to buy it for the 70. I think it's a fair offer. I think it leaves me a little bit of profit, and hopefully it gives you a start towards a new boiler.
It'll be a start for it, yes.
So should we have a deal at £70?
We have, yes.
Thank you very much indeed. Pleasure meeting you.
Thank you. Determined to get 60. I've got 70, so I'm pleased with that.
I think it's a nice name on it. I think there's going to be a profit in that. Thanks very much indeed.
Not a problem, Simon, but you did pay twice the amount you said you would. Coming up, more badges than you can shake a stick at.
20.
You know you're getting the wrong colour out.
No, I've run out now.
Can Brenda pin this deal down? Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal. There's no time to waste, so let's get over to Brenda Haller's table, where Gina's ready to do business.
I've brought about 300 badges of my husband's collection. None of the family want them, so they're just in the way now. He said, work on £1 a badge.
£300? Let's see if Brenda shells out.
Well, whose collection is this?
My husband's.
Oh, why isn't he sat there then?
He said, I've got the gift of the gab, and he has.
Oh, really? And is this true?
No.
Okay.
No. He thinks I manage a community centre, so I don't want lots of committees.
Okay.
So he thinks because I do that, I've got the gift of the gab.
Okay.
It isn't always true.
I'm not so sure. Okay, how many have we got here?
350, approximately.
Wow. Yes.
And he's been collecting how long?
For about 35, 36 years.
OK, well, that's not too many a year, is it?
No, but this is only a few.
You're kidding me. You're sort of
It's-
badge holics, aren't you?
Well, yes.
OK.
So-
Because we've got things like the WRVS,
Yes.
Royal Voluntary Service, and of course you've got captain, school captain.
Yep.
And then you've got ones from different countries, so
Yes.
sort of tourist badges. So don't cost a lot to buy initially, do they?
No.
But as a collection, they look quite impressive.
Yes.
Yeah. So he's not collecting now,
He's not collecting them now, no.
hence you want some more room.
Yeah, well, we want some more room and we need to build up the holiday fund.
Do you?
Yes.
Now, I do sell these occasionally. If they come in the shop, then
Yeah.
I'll have one or two put in a cabinet, and they do take a long time to sell individually. So I'm going to be, let's see, 10, 20.
You know you're getting the wrong colour out.
No, I've run out now. 30, 40, £50.
No.
Do you know, it would take me years to sell these. Years.
But even at £1 a badge, it's like...
I know, but I might not be alive to see the end of it. Oh my goodness, 50. £60. £70. OK, Gina, there's £70 on the table. I know that's not a lot of money, but how many years is it going to take me to sell these?
Well, I don't know about that. I think they might be sold as a whole collection.
Oh, do you think?
140 to 180 is the estimation from our valuers and from the auctioneer. I have a feeling there may be a person, even a young person, that wants a collection of badges. Could be bought perhaps for 150, 160 quid. Take your chances, girl. Let's get off to the auction. This might be a winner.
OK, I'll put a little bit more down, Gina. 80, 90, £100.
No, I think we'll go to auction.
OK. You just want the thrill of the auction,
Yes,
don't you?
definitely.
All right.
Thank you
well
very
done,
much.
Gina.
OK, thank you. Definitely wasn't enough. So hopefully we can get more at the auction. I don't know, hopefully double it.
Right then, let's get over to the sale room to find out if Gina's right. Max Blackmore has his gavel at the ready.
On the dealer's day, Gina brought along a collection of 20th century enamel-coloured metal badges. She sat down with Brenda Haller, and Brenda said, I'll give you £100 for those. Gina said, no. I want to go to auction. I think they're worth more. She can't make it here today, so I'm looking after her interests. They're coming up now. There is a reserve of £140. Are they going to make it? Well, let's find out. They're coming up over here.
Very unusual collection. I can start on commission at 80. £80 with me on commission. At 85, 90. 95, 100. 110.
2 or 3 hands coming to life here. 120, 130.
It's going so quickly on the net, I'll have to come back to you. We're up to 190, 200, 210.
Just shows you how easily you can underrate something.
240, 250, 260, 70, 80, 90. 320.
They like them. We've missed out here, you know, we've underrated this lot.
340, 360. We're up to 400. 440. Stuck at 440, 460 now. We've gone on to 480.
You'd never know in this game. It's a funny old business.
Anybody interested at 5? We're up to 520. It's too late. We're up to 520 on the net.
Amazing.
Selling at 520 then, on the net at 520.
£520 the gavel has gone down on. OK, so there is a little bit of commission to take away from that. Quick calculation. I make that £426. We'll be sending that along to Gina. Will she be surprised? She'll be delighted.
Iris has brought in her shaker, but it's not just any old shaker, is it, David?
Well, the magic name, Clarice Cliff. Everybody seems to want it still, thank goodness. So I'm going to have a good go at this to try and buy it.
Better hope Iris likes the colour of your money, then.
Tell me something about this piece of pottery you bought in, Iris.
I bought it at a car boot sale a few years ago.
Did you?
I did, and I did think it was a fake.
You thought it was a fake when you bought
I
it?
did, and that's why I brought it in today.
Are you going to tell me how much you gave for it?
No.
Well, it wouldn't be much, would it? Tenner, fiver, £3.
Not say. You guess.
Well, I like it, and it's something I'm not going to say terrible things about because it's a damn good seller. I'll just get my glasses on here and have a look underneath. So what usually tells us most things about a piece of porcelain or pottery. And it's hand-painted, Bazaar, by Clarice Cliff, Wilkinson's Limited, England. It's in amazing condition when you think it was made in the 20s, 30s.
Absolutely.
When did you buy this, Iris?
Oh, it must be a good few years ago. A good few years ago.
5, 10?
I should think about 7.
Have you got any more Clarice Cliff?
No, just that one little piece.
Why are you going to sell it? It's nice, isn't it?
Well, I'm having a new bathroom and I could do with some cash towards it.
What am I buying, the sink or the taps or the...
You're buying it all?
The lot. Well, I'll get the spondoolies out here and see if we can... I think we'll start with the large ones here, look. 50 quid? Have we done a deal?
Oh, no.
Have we?
No.
But that's a bit of profit on what you gave, Iris.
Well, it might be and it might not be.
£100.
No, I still would like a bit more.
I'm in old pot here. £150, Iris.
Well, I would like a bit more.
Well, let me put another 20 here, £170.
OK, now, when you came along today, Iris, did you have any expectation with your Clarice Cliff sugar sifter?
Not really, no.
I'm amazed how well they do in the sale room. In fact, 150 to 250 is the estimation. Now, I know you bought this in a car boot sale, so you're one of these lucky people that went along to the car boot sale and I think got a right one, because I should imagine at car boot sales there would be also quite a lot of reproduction ones, but that seems to me to be all right. If you go to the sale room, I think it will bring over £200, but you will have a commission to take out of it. So we're getting close, 170 quid. I'm going to say this. I think it's worth a little bit more, but I don't want to put too much pressure on our dealer because he's got to buy it and he's got to sell it. So I'm going to say at 170, see if we can get another 20 or 30 quid. Smile at young Dave over there. He's quite receptive to a smile from a young lady. And let's see what happens.
Well, Iris, there are various patterns in these sugar shakers. This is the Gay Day pattern. It's not the most rarest pattern, so I thought I'd give you quite a fair bid here, but I'm going to try and buy this off you because I really like it. 180.
Well, if you put another brown one, we've got a deal.
Iris, have we had a deal?
We've got a deal.
190. Thank you, Iris.
Thank you.
Now, you've struck a deal, obviously, with David at how much?
190.
£190. Quite a good price, I'm going to say. But we want to know what you paid for that at the car boot sale.
I would think it would be no more than about £3 or £4.
£3 or £4? How do they do it?
How do you do it? Find something like that at a car boot? It never happens to me.
I suppose it's just luck. And
You're
I did think it was fake.
Well, it's fantastic. I love it.
Very good. It went swimmingly. I couldn't have hoped for anything better.
I'm very happy with it because you can't fault it. Should make £30, £40 profit at least, I would have thought.
We'll find out if you're right later, David. Also coming up, Simon faces some tough opposition.
I think £60 is about as far as I want to go with this one.
I know it's worth more, though. I know it's worth more. I'll tell you when to stop.
Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal from Stockport in Cheshire.
There's still plenty of business to be done, and Kevin's ready to push Karen's offer to the hilt.
I think it's probably worth about £200, and that would satisfy me.
Well, let's see how you get on.
Welcome to the show. Goodness me, what have you brought in? This is interesting. So, what's the history?
Well, I understand it's a samurai sword, and it's been in my family ever since I was born. But when my father passed on, my brother took it into his house, and then he was quite worried because it was a weapon. So he asked me to look after it, and I just threw it in the back of the garage, and it's been there ever since, basically.
And somebody lately have cleaned it. Who's cleaned it?
I've certainly not cleaned it.
No.
So
has it been wrapped so that no air got to the...
Yes. Yeah, well, yes, it was in a blanket. Or a
so it hasn't tarnished too much. Now, you think it's Japanese, do you?
I've got to be honest, I've no idea where it came from, and basically, as a child, it was described by my father as a samurai sword.
Was it? Okay. Really, really interesting. And I'm guessing, well, I'm pretty sure that this will be, up to this point here, low-grade silver, sort of around 800, 830. And we've referred to low-grade when it doesn't make the 925 sterling standard. So it's Asian, Japanese, Far Eastern, but in fantastic condition and really interesting. And there's quite intricate braiding going on here, and there's very little pitting either on the blade, which is what they look for. We've just got no other information on it, have we?
Sorry, I can't help you any further.
Yeah, neither of us. There's no marks on it. So, oh gosh, I mean, it's a lovely thing. I think it's a lovely thing. And I'd like to try and buy it off you. And you will take my money. Right colour, £150.
No, I'm sorry.
Look, Kevin, it's in my hand. There's the other 50. And like it or not, you're just about to get some advice. Hello, David.
Well, a handsome-looking weapon suitable for a wall piece. I think that's Islamic. Somewhere like that could be India. Our independent valuers and auctioneer, they're saying it'll cut it at 150 to 250. I think that's conservative. Karen has got right in there on the money and put £200 down. My problem is now, what do? Do I recommend this to you, or do I send you to the sale room? If you go to the sale room and got 250, you'd have no more change than that. If you got 300 in the sale room, okay, you could knock, say, 40, 50 quid off. Will you get 300? Maybe, but that's a safe bet. There is a reasonable chance you might get the 300, so I'm going to make you make the decision, rather than you and I go to the auction and go, you said, David, I'd get more than 300, and you've got the sword in your hand, perhaps. I don't know. So I'm going to say, it's gambling time or it's £200 time. It's your choice.
Thank you. Throw another tenner in for the drink, and we'll have a deal.
Kevin, I'm going to shake your hand for being such a gent. I will really be pleased to put that tenner down, and thank you very much for the deal.
Thank you.
The dealing continues. Tina's hoping Simon Schneider will take a liking to her silver cross.
What can you tell me about this piece?
Well, it's been bought from generations from the family, and it's just been in the loft, and it's just gathering dust. I know it's worth something because it's very, very old, and I don't know much else about it.
Okay, well, what you've got here, obviously you've got a cross, and I think it's what they call a Jerusalem one, because I think it's originally from that area. And it's silver, and it's got amethyst set in it as well. And I think it dates from about the turn of the last century, so something around 1900. So we're talking about something that's probably just about over 100 years old now. Now, the crosses, they're actually also sort of fashion pieces as well, and people do often wear them without any religious connotation at all. So you've got sort of a few different markets this would appeal to, just people that like chunky silver jewellery, which is very popular at the moment. Value-wise, what should we say for that? I think a fair bid for your cross, Tina, would be 20, 40, 50 of those English pounds.
No.
No?
No.
What, you don't think it's worth that much?
No.
Oh, you think it's worth more?
It is worth more.
Dear, how much more is it worth?
Don't keep putting down. I'll tell you when to stop.
Yeah, you let me go on all day. I can see what you're like. £60, Tina. Take that 10 away. No? I think that's about its mark. I think it's quite nice, but I mean, if it was gold, I'd be all over it, and I'd think it'd be worth a lot more. But it's silver.
Silver's more popular now.
Silver jewellery is more popular than gold jewellery at the moment, but obviously it's not as expensive because the actual metal it's made from isn't as valuable. I think £60 is about as far as I want to go with this one. Don't forget, I've got to sell it and make a profit on it.
I know it's worth more, though. I know it's worth more.
Well, I want it to be worth a little bit more, otherwise I won't make any money. You don't want me to give you more than it's worth, do you? You want me to make a profit, don't you? I think it's a good bid.
No more?
No more. The Bank of Simon is firmly closed. The choice is yours, Tina. £60 auction.
I'll take it.
You're going to take it?
Yep, yep.
Thanks very much for coming in today.
Thank
Pleasure
you.
doing business with you.
I pushed it as much as I could. I'm happy with what I got.
Glad to hear it, Tina. Coming up, a set of World War I medals.
Is £200 any good?
That's bought the ribbons.
Can David make Raymond fall in line? Welcome back. It's been non-stop today, but there's only enough time for one more deal over on David's table. Raymond's brought in his collection of World War I medals.
I'm hoping to get £400 or more, if possible, so I can have a break for a week.
Well, let's see if David pays up.
I know there's a great interest in medals this last few years. Tell me something about them.
Well, there was my uncle's. He was married to my mum's sister. My mum's sister died, my dad died, so he married my mum. So it was my uncle and my stepfather.
Well, that's interesting for a start off, yeah.
So I've known the medals like all my life.
Well, as you know, these three here are the most common First World War medals, but this is the one that's of great interest, of course, the Bravery Medal here.
Correct.
And it's silver, of course, yeah. Do you know what he did?
I believe it was for carrying the wounded from the front lines.
Was it?
Back, going into where the battle was and carrying the wounded back.
And of course, these medals got the gentleman's name on, and this was awarded to Martin Hadsed.
Hadsed, yeah.
Yeah, the 12th Cheshire Regiment.
That's it.
Very, very interesting, and exactly what the market's looking for at the moment. Now, this is a very important medal. I'm not a medal expert by a long, long way.
I know it is.
But I've seen a great surge in the prices of militaria and medals in general. It's been...
I know, I've been watching... I watch your show every day.
Yeah,
so.
like lots of antiques have gone that way, the medals have gone that way.
They have. They're fairly shocking.
And especially when you've got all this paperwork with it. It's fantastic. It really is. These are quite common. I think they're sort of £50, £70 a set, I think. I'm going to get some cash out, but I don't think I'm going to excite you. Is 100, 150, 170, 190. Is £200 any good?
That's bought the ribbons.
I'll tell you something, I think this is worth a lot of money. I think you should take these to the auction. That would be my professional advice to you. Because I really think you could have several £100s in that one alone.
Well, if you give me the 200, you can take those. You can keep the ribbons for 200.
£200 on the table? Not enough, Raymond.
No.
Both estimates encompass 300 to 500. I think that's £200, the Bravery Medal, maybe 250 on its own. So I'm going to say to you at this stage, if we're not moving on that, Raymond, I shall look forward to seeing you at the auction, sir.
Raymond, what do you think you ought to do?
I'll take them to auction.
It's to auction they go.
It most certainly is.
I hope you do really well, and it would be my best advice. Take them to auction.
Thanks very much.
Let's find out if he's made the right decision.
You brought them along on the dealers. Now, I'm going to ask you this, because a lot of people will want to know, why are you getting rid of these medals? They're a nice collection of medals. You know, the gallantry, the group is for gallantry. Now, why are you selling them?
Well, he was my uncle. I mean, my dad was in the First World War.
Yes.
My father-in-law was in the Second World War.
Yeah.
I've got their medals,
okay,
which will go passed down to my son.
Okay.
But he was just my uncle.
On the dealer's day, you sat down with David Hackney, and he made an offer of £200. And those medals are coming up now, and there is a reserve of £350. Now, the question I always ask is, are they going to make that kind of money? Well, I'm going to say, sir, they should do. Here they are now. Let's find out.
I can start this lot at £540.
They've started at £540, way above the £350 reserve.
I'll throw it open now to the room. 560, 580. 580 on commission, 580. 600 on the phone. 620 commission. 640, 660.
More like it.
680, 700. 720, 740. 760. I've got £800 now.
£800.
£800, 820 we're on the net. The commissions are now out. I think the phone's out. We're on the net at 820, the phone's out, commissions are out, no further interest in the room. £820 then.
Gavel has gone down at £820. There is some commission to take away. I'm going to say just over £670. 672, about that kind of money. That's what you will be taking home. What do you think about that?
Very good. Very
Happy?
pleased with it.
Very pleased?
Yes.
Any idea what you're going to do with this £672?
Me and the wife are going on holiday.
Well, it sounds pretty good. On the day, £820 for the medals, take away the commission, and Raymond's going home with £672. Sir, that is the real deal.
It certainly was. Bon voyage, Raymond, and well done. You got almost £300 more than you wanted. Now, let's see if our dealers have done as well today. Well, Brenda certainly can't compete. She didn't buy anything.
£100.
No, I think we'll go to auction.
OK.
So she made nothing. Simon stood his ground when he offered £60 for the Silver Cross.
The Bank of Simon is firmly closed.
And it's a good job it was, because he's not managed to sell it on. The lighter didn't turn out to be a surefire thing either. He just can't find a buyer. The £70 portrait made a loss for David. Is anybody going to make money today? Surely there's hope in the Clarice Cliff sifter.
Should make £30–40 profit at least, I would have thought.
And thank goodness he was right. A buyer snatched his hand off the very next day. Can Karen make more than 30 quid? She was content to pay £210 for the sword. The point being, she made a profit. But she wasn't so sure about the £250 fairings.
This is, you know, it's going to. I will make money. I'm no bones about it, but it's going to take me a long time to do it.
And she's still waiting to move them on. So with Raymond making nearly 10 times more than our 4 professional dealers, he's our all-conquering hero. We salute you, sir.
We've had a really great day here in Stockport. There's been a lot of action. A lot of people are buying and selling. There really is an exciting feel about the day. Don't forget to join me, David Dickinson, next time for Dickinson's Real Deal. TTFN, ta-ta for now.